It has become common for couples, particularly ones who cannot give birth to children naturally or using assisted reproduction, to adopt non-Jewish children and then convert them. We've been dealing with, for example, surrogacy, and whether the halachic mother donated the egg, but she didn't have a uterus, so the child was carried in a non-Jewish woman's uterus. Or it could be that a Jewish mother doesn't have ovaries, so there's egg donation by a non-Jewish woman, and the Jewish mother carries. According to most opinions today, the child needs giyur, michumra. There are opinions that say that the child could be Jewish because either the DNA is genetic, the DNA is Jewish, or the uterus was Jewish. But according to Rav Elyashiv and according to the more machmir opinions, the child needs giyur. That's what they mean here, that we sometimes will have to be magayer a child because of assisted reproductive techniques, the ones I've just described, or they just adopt a child, right, and they magayer the child right at birth.
Well, there's a big difference between adopting a child versus a woman carrying a child in utero. It's not very.
No, but I just went through that there are opinions that unless both the uterus is in a Jewish mother and that the DNA is a Jewish mother, that it'll require giyur. There are chumradik opinions, and most families want their child to be Jewish. They don't want any machlokes. So there are shitas that will allow if the Jewish, even if the egg came from a non-Jewish woman,
Right.
but the Jewish uterus, the woman who carried the child is Jewish. Some hold since the DNA is non-Jewish, it will still require giyur. Rav Elyashiv holds like that. He's machmir. So that's one of the cases where it'll be ger cut.
And why is it they
think
say
Rav Asher
you
was
adopt a child, you should adopt a girl and not a boy?
Why is that?
Huh?
Why is
That's
that?
what I heard. They said-
No, you want to adopt a non-Jewish child because a Jewish child sometimes you don't know mamzeres, you don't know if they're not a religious couple. There was no ketubah, there was no a shasish or who knows what. So that's why they advise a non-Jewish couple, a non-Jewish child, and then we convert them. So as we have seen, the acceptance of the mitzvot constitutes an essential part of the conversion process. Kabbalah's mitzvahs, we went through all that at length. According to the halacha, a minor, and certainly a baby, does not possess das, the mental capacity of an adult, and therefore would not be capable of making a decision to accept Judaism. Since we said that Kabbalah's all mitzvahs is part and parcel of the conversion, and you can't have a conversion without it, how can a conversion be validated? So the Gemara in Ksubis, Yud Aleph, addressed this on Rav Huna. It says, Ger Kotten, Madbilin Osal Das Bezdin. That if you have a convert, you put her in it's done, Bezdin makes the decisions. Now, how can Bezdin make a decision for somebody else? My Kamashmalon, this Chusulo, the Zachin Lo Adam Shaloi B'Fanav. So there is a rule that if somebody dropped a lottery ticket on the ground, and Walter comes around and picks it up and finds out that it belonged to Nati, Walter can take possession of it, can be coining it on behalf of Nati. Even though Nati didn't make him a shaliach to do so, because there's a principle, as long as it's a schus for Nati. For example, if it was an IOU that Nati owes somebody $1,000 and Walter finds it, he doesn't have to accept it, because it ain't chavin lo adam shaloi b'fanav, but zachin lo adam shaloi b'fanav. So we're going to see Bezdin is sort of makes this decision because we assume that it's a schus for the child. So the Gemara says, but there's a problem, Tanina. Tanina, zachin lo adam shaloi b'fanav, the ain't chavin lo adam shaloi b'fanav. So the Gemara says, there's already a baraisa to teach me this. Why do I have to be taught here again about the concept of zachin? We know the concept of zachin. Why do you have to repeat it? So there's a chiddush here. Ma'od same ovid koichavim behefker nichalei, the hakaimelan the eved vade behefker nichalei. The Gemara had a concept that, for example, in the eved knani, he lives biznus. It's behefker. He likes that way. So therefore he would not want to accept Yiddishkeit because it ruins he's having a good time. He doesn't want to do it. And we have a havamina that a regular akum is in the same mindset and wouldn't accept it. So So you know what? Yes, an adult goy who has already tasted the pleasures of the world would Enochanami be exactly like an Eved. He wants to continue to be Mezaneh, and therefore he would consider it a chavd to him and not a schus for him. But here we're talking about a child, right? That a godel the tam the surah aval cotton zuchusulo. But a cotton who's never doesn't know these things, it's certainly a zechus for him to become Jewish. So that's the sugi in the Gemara. According to the Gemara, it seems that the Beis Din decides on behalf of the child that conversion is an appropriate step. It's apparent from here that the conversion is effective through the halachic mechanism of zechiyah, where one person acts in another best interest, even without his explicit consent. Not he didn't give permit, didn't make Walter a shaliach to pick it up, right? This is through transferring a gift to another's possession without their knowledge. So too here, the Beis Din converts the child based upon the assumption that becoming a Jew would be in their best interest. Okay, so that's how l'chora this is working. According to Tosfos, we're going to see Tosfos has two explanations. One explanation, this process is invalid even midoraisa. This is Tosfos there. It's valid. I said it's valid. The Motzi Lemeimar, Tosfos wants to say the Isla Zechiyah min Torah. The Ovikachavim cotton. If you have a goy child, Kivin the Bolis Gayer, Chashvinan like Yisrael cotton. So he's considered already as a child Jewish. Afagav Dischiyav mitam shliches. Now, what do you mean? If Beis Din is acting now, it seems like Tosfos is learning that the concept of Zechiyah is shlichus. We have a problem then. If Beis Din is the shaliach of the cotton is a goy. There is no din shlichus by goyim. So Tosfos raises that. So if you're going to tell me mitam shlichus ve'ein lo shlichus min haTorah, but they qualify it. Hanimili b'dover sheyesh bo p'tzas choiva. So it will be purely shlichus if there's already a little bit of it's not pure benefit. There's benefit and maybe a little lack. Kigon lahafrish trumaso. For example, the concept of being mafresh truma on his behalf. The shema hayeroitze lepoitra b'chita achad. The din is like this. Regular truma is based on 1/50th is what Chazal determined should be the basic amount of truma given. If you have 100 bushels of wheat, a truma gedola should be 2 out of 100, 1/50th. They have a shita ayin yof as 1/40th, ayin ro as 1/60th. But Shmuel says in Shas, chita achas poiteres asakri. According to Shmuel, that midoraisa, even if you took one kernel, it potters from tevel. So